Hello, Identified Gamers. Hello. Hi. Let's do the day 2 of the COA story. Let's take a look. I have been ranking quite a bit, and let me just tell you, oh my gosh, I've been miserable. It's been so bad. I have been solo ranking a lot, and I haven't got a win. And like, let's see, I'm trying to think. How many games have I played? I think within the last 5 hours of rank, I have not got a single win. I've had 2 sessions of 2 hours where I didn't win once, and I think my last one was like an hour, or like the first hour of the previous session. So I've basically been doing 5 hours of rank and I haven't won, and I'm about to crash out. I'm actually about to lose it. Anyways, hope you guys are doing better with your ranks, because mine is going absolutely terrible, and I'm kind of miserable. But it is fine, because we get to experience some story, and nothing with missing flywheels or mediocre rescues and 51 rescues will stop me from enjoying the story of COA. So, let's head to our hideaway rooftop and see what the story is for today. Alice, once again. Let's see here. We meet again. The plan is going smoothly. Hey, how have these days in the Holy City been? Has Cleric shown you the layout around the parade route? We'll need a safe path of movement. Life here is peaceful, sometimes overly so, but as a sightseeing experience, it's not bad. Yes, there's still much in this city that interests me. I could take you through the bazaar, find a storyteller performing in the streets, or maybe you'd like to collect spices. As long as it doesn't interfere with our plan. If all goes well, you can look for some fun. I know, and I understand. You want me to keep a sense of urgency. Sometimes I do think you and Cleric are alike, never straying from your purpose. Most people wouldn't compare this city's cleric to a sinner. Maybe those who can work together long-term share certain values. Perhaps Cleric willingly adapts to this identity, and to the manners and values that come with it. And you've never bowed your head in the square for those values. Your will is sharper than any spike. Will it pierce through you someday, Cuckoo? I'm glad we don't always have to be like this here. Even though you hate this city, you still love its street performers, story collections, and your songs. Okay, what's going on with Night, bro? Storytellers and tales, yes. These parts aren't how I imagined the Holy City. I thought everything would be solemn. But in truth, literature among the people is thriving, except in certain areas where heavy restrictions rule. Restrictions on sculpture and painting, limits on instruments and song content. That's why I'm here. I believe what I present is more genuine than the standardized works. I noticed you were interested in the murals in the ritual chamber at the start. Yes, that symbol representing the faith. It's the reason I came to the Holy City. I've seen the same mark on many buildings here. What does it mean? It was once the signature my friends and I used for a storybook we created as children, a way to hide shared secrets inside a tiny pattern. And now, that personal mark has become a sacred emblem of worship. It's so strange. I can remember every detail of it, because it first took shape on my paper from my own ideas. What? This is interesting. Let's see what we got here. No, this symbol seems a bit different from the one I remember. Oh, I see. I thought we were supposed to click on all of them. Okay, so it's gonna be, which one is it? This one here. Okay, nice. Yes, this is it. The outer circle was a truffle cake I never got to try. Sisyphus left a round stone at the mountaintop in the image, and beneath the eaves, the tiny space was home in my memories. The meaning of this symbol remains a mystery. Many scholars dedicate themselves to uncovering hidden messages within it. At present, many different interpretations circulate. But because it's the same as the one on the talismans, gifts from the god, most believe its meaning is inherently unknowable. Just as no one can create in the real world a perfect abstract circle, so too is the divine realm assumed to be unreachable. Perhaps it's the acknowledgement of this unknowability that establishes the god's authority. At times, visitors to the tower aren't only our secret companions. A stray cat, wrapped in feathers, curls in a corner. Aw, cat. Come here, over here. Don't be afraid. That's one weird-looking cat. These winged creatures are always especially close to you. You really like them. I mean, the blessed ones worshipped in this city. No. In fact, I hate what they've become. They appear in my dreams every night. Sometimes they are as they once were. Other times, feathers grow out from every part of their bodies. And they can't even make a sound. The suffering lasts until the transformation is complete, when awareness itself fades. The only way to free them from that fate is to leave nothing but bones. One day, they'll no longer carry the breath of life. The way they look now, it's just souls trapped in broken shells. Cleric, you know this better than anyone. No. We haven't figured out the miracle yet, have we? Maybe there's a way. Cuckoo, you know as well as I do. Cleric understands more than anyone the feeling of being stripped of freedom. Among Us, Among Us, the shackled sinner is closer to freedom than Cleric on the dais. At least this little one's wings can serve some function, instead of only stripping away movement and thought. Hi, cat thing. Unfamiliar creature, a cat mid-transformation, still recognizable. Unusual eyes, eye count increased during transformation, though one appears non-functional. Spread wings, forelimbs turn to wings, struggling to fly. Aww. Poor cat thing. You're right. It's lucky. A rare kind of luck. Maybe it could stay here? Or would you rather take it to that place where you hide the other blessed ones? If it prefers to stay here, it should stay. The stray curls back where it was, a small, tight ball. But by Cleric's side, it doesn't feel like a drifting cloud anymore. And the other blessed ones you keep? Until I have an answer, our companions will stay safely taken care of. Just as I've heard, Cleric hides many blessed ones, disabled by their transformations. They're kept in the holiest places, even though by the city's rules, just touching a blessed one is considered blasphemy. Companions? Most of the secretly sheltered blessed ones are people Cleric once knew. A few years ago, I still saw them dressed in robes following behind her. Students, friends, and one particular year, they were turned into what they are now during a miracle. One black-robed apprentice especially, she was Cleric's pride and joy. But at the end stage of transformation, any creature turns into something twisted from masses of feathers or eyes. Wait, is that Coordinator skin? The B tier? Or like what it used to be? I don't know. Everyone in the Holy City knows of that transformation. They believe those people truly gained freedom, and that miracle was the reason Cleric was elevated to the highest rank. They believe Cleric is the only one ever to be bathed in the god's light, then return to the mortal world to give guidance. Just before your arrival here, Cleric stood alone on the marble steps. Of all her old companions, only Cuckoo, confined to the execution ground, had escaped that miracle. I will continue to do my duty as Cleric until I can bring closure to what happened back then. Sorry, we still have some differences in how we handled the past. I hope that won't affect you. No, it won't. I truly wish to work alongside you to achieve something. I have my own reasons, and I've always been grateful for your protection. Okay, that was interesting. I like this. That was actually like a little bit longer than I thought it would be, huh? Interesting lore, very interesting. I like how like they have different ways about going about things too. Wait, what? That was day 2 and day 3? Wait, what? Why is it day 2 and day 3 though? That's weird. Huh. Because yesterday I didn't get a prompt yesterday. And yet it skipped over. Okay, whatever, sure. I guess that was day 2 and day 3 then. Weird. Let's see here, moment of reflection. Ah, puzzle time. All right, well this is gonna be 1. This is gonna be 1. This is gonna be 3. And because of that, this needs to be 2. And because of that, I know, what else do I know? Do I know anything else? This has to be 1, which is cool. which means 2 has to be here, and this has to be 3, which means this has to be 1, and this has to be 4. Boop. Beautiful. Yay, apples! I love apples! Storybook fragment number 1. Inside the spacecraft descending to Earth, there were 2 visitors from somewhere else in the universe. To blend into life in their new environment, they decided to each take a human name. They'd heard that humans often tucked the things they loved into their names. So the tall visitor chose Sisyphus, and the small visitor chose Troy. And together they began their journey on Earth. They had collected books about Earth beforehand, but fully understanding all those concepts was difficult, so they simply picked the names that sounded pleasing. Sisyphus and Troy wandered across the surface, searching for humans and for all the interesting, beautiful things they had read about. Maybe they would even find a diplomat who could invite Earth to join the Galactic Federation. But Earth's current state disappointed them. At first, they couldn't find humans anywhere. A few survivors told them Earth had suffered an unprecedented catastrophe. Maybe we arrived too late, said the tall Sisyphus. Oh, but we still have so much to explore beyond what's in books, said the small Troy. Okay. Did that have anything to do with COA 7? I wonder. How very interesting. Huh. No illustrations yet, though. I wonder when we start getting these illustrations. Because, like, it seems like there's quite a few, but they're all locked. I guess we'll find out in due time. But, yeah, I guess that's day 2 and 3, which is interesting. I guess we could also do some draws. Let's see here. Might as well. Let's go one by one. Let's see what we got here. Oh. All right, nothing super impressive. What the? Oh, I see. I see. All right, zither. A stringed instrument from another culture beyond the holy city, now quite old. Hidden marks on its body shows its maker was Cuckoo. Before he donned the shackles of a sinner, Cuckoo was a master luthier. As a youth, he wandered into the holy city and has never yet been tamed by its faith. On rare occasions, he still plays, his fingers bound tight to the strings, or hums under his breath. The melodies are undeniably beautiful. The sound of his instrument can drag the listener bodily into worlds of story, gliding over a calm, soft sea, falling like a swallow into a storm, freezing into the night, into the black mercury eye of a doe. Perhaps it is because Cuckoo lives more deeply in those stories than anyone else that they spill so naturally through his music. In such moments, Cuckoo will never bow his spine to any faith. He lives only inside the narratives he writes for himself. Okay, I mean, that's kind of respectable. It just kind of sucks that it's on night, because he hates everybody in his lore, which is silly. Within the Holy City, such instruments and songs are branded heretical. Even so, these rebellious notes are enough to make a faith-broken cleric and a color-drunk artisan stop and listen. This is the first instrument Cuckoo ever made, we later learned. Well, how about that? Wasn't he playing that in his thingy? I think he was. All right, let's do a few more draws. I think maybe for each draw we'll get an illustration, which is kind of cool. We'll grab that, and then let's see. What else? Azurite, all right. A striking ritual spice, as bright and clever as sapphire. This is incense reserved for holy city ceremonies, and Merchant supplies the finest quality. Its main ingredient seems to be a rare resin with a distinctive aroma, prepared by special methods. Merchant adds an extra step, coating their surface in oil to make the color more vivid and translucent. It's almost exactly the shade I always imagined the sea would be. They say the craftsmen still argue over the proper materials and techniques, but Merchant is no traditionalist. He's always experimenting with improper improvements. Even unlit, the incense gives off a faint odor, a gentle bitterness touched with coolness, the same scent I noticed when I first met Cleric and underwent the rite. When burned, it produces heavy smoke, though without acrid, choking fumes. Interestingly, the only one of us who frequently officiates rites, Cleric, is also the most sensitive to smell. Whenever Merchant presents his latest wares, she lifts her sleeve and quietly steps aside. Over time, she has revealed more and more of her human preferences and quirks. If she were not bound to that symbolic position, perhaps we might have had more chances to know her as a person. Okay, I mean, I guess that's kind of fitting for Our Lady's lore just a little bit here. And let's see. Let's do a few more. Let's do 5 more, I think. That'll be a good amount to get done in this video, and we can save some for the other videos as well. We're gonna get some fragments. What's our next illustration? Let's see what we got here. Broken talisman. Ooh. A shattered talisman. Its owner is nowhere to be found. The Holy City's precepts tell everyone that the talisman protects the world of the mind. And indeed, records show that when a talisman is damaged or dislodged by accident, some residents lose their grasp on reality, falling into terror and madness. For Holy City residents, the talisman accompanies them from birth to death. From the moment a newborn receives its first rite, this ornament carries the faith passed down through generations. A single talisman can quiet a wailing infant. For outsiders who wish to enter, a solemn ceremony is required, and a talisman personally granted by a cleric. The city's defenses are strict, and talismans cannot be forged. In this matter, I had little choice. The talisman's core is usually a blue crystal, though that oversimplifies it. In truth, under shifting light and angle, you can find every color you can imagine within that strange blue. These hues flow inside solid stone, and at times I feel that perhaps actual life and truth are hidden in that mottled brilliance. We simply haven't learned the form that life takes there. The crystal bonds to flesh through transparent strands of light. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Ew. Wearing it causes no pain, but removal is another. They say taking it off leaves no physical injury, but the mind experiences unbearable stabbing, agony, and suffocation. In a sense, the talisman has become a part of the citizens' belief, culture, and even anatomy. A heraldic badge that marks their identity, granting them free passage within the city. Alright, that was probably the most interesting little lore piece that we've gotten so far, huh? Very interesting. This is very similar to Violetta's thing last year, but it's gotten through a different method. Yeah, journalist dialogue again. She's just messing with her little camera there. Let's keep doing a few more polls. Let's see what we got. Maybe we'll get some essences. Nope, fragments again, it looks like. Pretty unlucky there. But that's fine, at some point we'll get it. Transforming bird. A bird in the early stage of transformation. For birds, perhaps, it is the hardest to notice. In the days before the procession, we often saw a particular girl who kept a nearly healed bird perched on the broad brim of her hat, like a warm, multicolored ornament perfectly suited to the festival. Later, she entrusted the bird to me, and I never saw her again. One morning at dawn, I heard a faint, familiar bird song drifting from a nearby alley outside my window. I assume it came from a flock of similar birds until I saw the shadow of the warped window, or on the warped window lattice. The bird song was pouring from a strange flute. A shiver ran through me. It felt as though that figure had once been part of my life. Something I'd recognize anywhere. Wait, Orpheus flute, maybe? But when I opened the window, the flutist was gone. Huh. I wonder if that has something to do with Orphe and like Orpheus flute. Maybe. Maybe. All right, three more. Let's see what we got here. It's clues. Whoa. Gee, I sure do love clues. Thinker sketch. All right. Sometimes carved human faces appear on Holy City buildings. The most famous is the statue of the Thinker, said to be the first sage to undergo transformation. From the statue's form, we can see the Thinker's winged metamorphosis began at the head. 2 wings rise high from either side of the skull. They are not functional, but their effect is imposing and holy. It is believed that transformation begins in the soul. The process is like the divine hand's reshaping of being's physical form. A second creation inscribed with clear symbols unique to each individual. Some changes begin in the brain, as the Thinker's name implies. When thought surges in the mind, wings sprouting upward from the head embody this trait. Others begin in the heart, the belly, the mouth, the limbs. There is no inherent hierarchy among these variations. In our group, only Artisan's transformation began in the brain. Both sides of his face and the back of his head show clear feathered growth. I wonder if there's like a reason for it. Even if his ideas and creations are considered blasphemous by Holy City standards, his body still bears out his nature. Perhaps because of this, his family still expects him to appear at social gatherings, even when his mind is unwell. Yeah, people were telling me a bit about like Painter's lore and kind of how it applies to this COA with like being able to like see things that aren't really always there, and how he can probably see through some of the illusions of this world. Is pretty interesting. And the showroom, it kind of hints at that as well. These changes have a mundane side as well, shaping new social rules. For our little group, the most interesting and practical function of the Artisan's cheek wings is entirely different. He can use them to shield his eyes from the sun, or to wordlessly signal his mood. Cheek wings, huh? How odd. All right, let's see here. Couple more. These lore pieces are interesting. Oh, snap. We got Joseph. We got Joseph himself, bro. Shell without growth lines. Okay. A seashell, about half the size of a hand. Its color has faded, and it bears faint signs of natural wear, but no growth rings, nor any recognizable scars of damage or repair. Growth rings are proof of a shell's time spent living. Its surface patterns are the chronicle of that individual's life. This object, by contrast, is baffling. It feels as if it were conjured from nothing by some unknown force, skipping every stage of growth, lying wordless in my palm as stark evidence. Yeah, they were talking about that, I think, in the last one as well. Perhaps there exists a set of creations, humans, animals, plants, the stone steps of civilization, and the legacies they stand for, that are the direct products of the original construction. These scattered clues hidden within the holy city, these tiny flaws in an eternal paradise, might help us persuade more people to trace the true origin of this place. A particular civilization and its believers, an eternal pastoral city of devotion, and participants willing to accept this entire narrative and live within it. Can we ever decipher the code behind its construction? Who knows, bro? I think some people were theorizing that Joseph was like an AI as well, which is potentially interesting. Let's see here. Got a little trial card for characters. Next up, it's gonna be, oh. Hey, it's the little eyeball guy, okay. Obsidian Blessed One. An Obsidian Blessed One, seemingly in the terminal stage of transformation. Its body is heavily scarred and unusually dark, with 3 pairs of functional wings. No record of an Obsidian Blessed One exists in the Holy City's archives. I suspect she is exceedingly rare, perhaps unique. The saddest part is that her conscience seems preserved all too well. What I see appears to be a fully human mind trapped within this body. Her huge eyes and wings still spill emotions, and we seldom see anything there but pain and exhaustion. According to the canon, even if her body has completed its transformation, her soul must still be weighed down, sinking into a pit of sin. Aw, that's kind of sad. Yeah, okay, it says secretly hidden and clarified by cleric. Yeah, in her showroom, her skin showroom, you actually see her taking care of the little eyeball guys. It's pretty cute. Or the blessed ones, I guess they call it. Let's see. She's secretly hidden, cared for by cleric. Once, this blessed one was a close acquaintance of both cleric and cuckoo. In the cleric's case, she once guided this person through everything, in meticulous detail, and the other, in turn, bore some of the secrets hidden beneath cleric's exalted facade. Cuckoo argues they should find a way, anyway, to end the Blessed One's agony, even if she is nearly unkillable. Cleric, however, stubbornly keeps her close, under her protection. They once fought bitterly over this. Now they carry that argument in shared, wordless silence. Huh. That's actually that's such a sad existence, bro. That really is. Okay, I think we'll save the rest of our draws for some of these future episodes that we do with the lore, but yeah. I guess that's gonna be it for today. Quite interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, well, thank you for watching. That was episodes 2 and 3 of our COA story. Not entirely sure why I had 2, because I literally couldn't do the second one yesterday, so I guess it was available, but then it kind of skipped over it, and then it went for today. I don't know. The rest should all be individual, though. We'll figure it out as we go on. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.